now we are going to do our income statement for May and June, and then we're just going to add across the columns and get our quarterly income statement, which is a summary of our income statement for 3 months. Okay, so we're going to start with our sales, and I'm going to do May and June together because a lot of this is formula-based, and it'll be easy enough that way. All right, so we're going to start with our budgeted sales dollars for May, which is $237,500. I can just copy that over. $250,000 for June. Less cost of goods sold, which is going to be our budgeted sales units times 1150. And remember, I got that from right here, 1150 per unit. Okay. So let's copy that over to June. So we have 115,000 for June. Our gross profit is our sales minus our COGS. So 128,250 for May and 135,000 for June. I'm just going to put that formula over here so we have it for later. All right, our sales commissions, we're just going to get from our selling expense budget, and they were 28,500. Our sales salaries is from our selling expense budget, and that's 4,000. Our G&A salaries is from our G&A budget, and that was 8,000. Our interest expense short-term is going to be 0, because remember, we paid off that short-term loan at the end of April. So that'll be 0 for May and June. And our interest expense long-term, again, from our selling expense budget, it's going to be 1,800. So I'm just going to take all of these, since they were formula-based, and copy them over to June. Okay, so now I'm going to add up my operating expenses. So 42,300 for May and 43,800 for June. All right, my net income before taxes will be my gross profit, 128,250 in May, minus my operating expenses, my period costs of 42,300 in May. My net income before taxes is going to be 85,950 for May. If I did the same thing for June, we will have net income before taxes of 91,200 for June. I'm going to take my net income before taxes and multiply it by my tax rate of 35%. So plus net income before taxes times 0.35 or 35%. And that gives me income tax expense in May of $30,082.50 and income tax expense in June of $31,920. If I take my net income before taxes and subtract my taxes, then I have net income of $55,867.50 for May, and for June, I have net income of $59,280. Okay, so that tells me my net income for each of the months. Now I want to know my quarterly net income. And so to do that, I'm just going to add across. So I'm going to add across here. So my total sales for the quarter being 3 months, a quarter of a year, is going to be 750,000. And I'm going to copy that down. My cost of goods sold will be 345,000. Copy it down over here. So my sales commissions for the quarter will be 90,000. Sales salaries 11,500. G&A salaries 24,000. Interest expense short-term $120. Interest expense long-term $5,400. So my total operating expenses for the quarter are going to be $131,250. My net income before taxes will be my gross profit minus my operating expenses or my period costs, $273,980. If I multiply that by 0.35, I get taxes of $95,893. And if I take my net income before taxes and subtract my taxes, I get $178,087. All right, I'm going to do one last check just because I'm a little paranoid. And I'm just going to make sure that when I calculated the 35% on the total net income before taxes, that it equals the sum of my 3 months of income tax expense. And it does. Okay, I feel a lot better about that now. I just like to double check these things. All right, so that is our income statement. In the next video, we're going to do the balance sheet, and then we are going to be DONE done. All right, see you then.